Revised draft of a policy document on the New World Order.
Motherfucker, fuck this fucking bull.
The Pentagon is backing off a controversial earlier draft and has abandoned a one superpower strategy. The final document puts more emphasis on international alliances and organizations.
They're managed by the private sector.
It's a different world.
But regulation of the process by national governments and international bodies is also needed. And
That's his trip. That's not my trip. I'm not into that.
Of how this is planned in advance and is not just random.
I don't agree with the system at all.
What do you think? What do you think's gonna happen?
Our owners, they have us. They control us. They are our masters. Wake up!
It seems a shame to sneak to get to the truth, to make the truth such an evil, dirty, old, nasty thing. You gotta sneak to get to the truth. The truth is condemned.
but the truth has to be.
We must change to the change we hold dear.
The truth has to come out.
I really like change and I made myself.
The truth is in the gas chamber.
I'm absolutely sick to death of the corruption.
Absolute incompetence.
And it's just everywhere in every aspect of life.
I haven't got a clue what's going on. The truth is, they put a picture of old George on the dollar and tell you that he's your father.
And so that they want a one-world government, controlled by them, everybody being chipped, all the money in those chips, and they control the chips.
Well, first of all,
What about the Federal Reserve and CFR?
the Federal Reserve is an independent agency, and that means basically that
That's the real reality that none of you will talk about, most of you are members.
there is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take.
The Federal Reserve is a cartel made up of the major banks in America, and they are the ones that are running the show.
Everyone in society.
But I feel compelled to say what I'm about to say.
But these people have allegiances to other forces that you're not meant to know about.
I don't know his agenda, but I know mine. Let's see if our agenda matters. So you got an army of psychotics and deviants to dance around for you.
A private military contractor came to power with a radical privatization agenda. We see it in our schools, prisons, healthcare system, and law enforcement in the United States.
We have to know about the truth. The truth has been...
The truth has to come out.
The truth is in the madness that goes on.
The greatest privatization of warfare in modern history.
Men with courage and vision can still determine their own destiny.
They can't do nothing. Americans will not be able to stop.
They can choose slavery or freedom.
Bullshit. They can't do nothing. They use the technologies that have been developed
to bring us forward on their agenda,
as a pretext to menace this planet.
and we are lost in the enchantment.
Got one or two things to say about change, like the change we must change.
They're using Hollywood, they're using every method that they have at their disposal to
They use the technologies they've developed as an excuse to take over our society.
bring us into this fascist dictatorship, this corporate reality that we're all begging for.
Gosh, I'm so tired of divisive exchange, and I got one or two things to say about change.
They have us begging for it.
And they feed on fear.
She kept saying they did it in Germany, they did it in Germany. And she wasn't talking about the later years, National Socialist outcomes. She was talking about the early years.
And President Obama has been cleverly trained in the Alinsky method. And it would be very important that every American knows what that method is. It is a socialistic Marxist teaching, and with it, little by little,
Little does anybody know.
And the human individual has to realize that we have no future if these people are not exposed and then ultimately defeated.
And we are now in the age where we're going to know about those allegiances.
Transparent.
Sooner or later,
later, you guys are going to have to step out in this hallway and see who this hallway belongs to.
Irreversible, transparent.
Because these people are servants of Vatican, these people are servants of the British royal family, and their job is to undermine and destroy the greatest country on the face of the earth.
What I'm about to say is fact. These people over here that want to live. They want to live? Get in line, we'll live. You don't want to live? Hurry up. They have planned and are now leading us into a one-world communist government. Hey, let them go, man. They want to commit suicide. Get some suicide parlors out there and let all them self-destructive idiots go.
The system is held together by our acquiescence. Enough! I'll say this to people in limited jackets and the dark streets that administer this system.
Now it's North America's turn. Our rights will not be inalienable, but they will be granted by government who can also take them away. So we put us in harm's way. You have harmed us. Be taken in the name of free trade, peace, and security. You will have a national ID card with a radio frequency chip in it. But they're also going to monitor every single person, every single thing they do. You will not be able to move about freely. This is terrorism of the most worst kind, brought on you by our own government. You have harmed us. And surveillance, the lack of privacy, it's always for good purposes. Everything is for good, and they're going to get rid of illegal immigration. They're going to find the criminals. Absolute incompetence. But they're also going to monitor every single person, every single thing they do. It's sort of this idea of why not have cameras every place on every street corner because we'll catch the bad guys. Well, why don't they have cameras in our house in case there's child beating or wife beating? I mean, that's when one thing leads to another. You either believe in freedom or you don't. If you think you need supervision and surveillance constantly by your government, and right now, the degree of confidence and trust in our government is very, very low. To turn this additional tool over to the government, to me, should outrage the American people, and so far the people I hear from are outraged.
It makes people angry, and they ought to be angry.
Fear the American people into subordinating themselves to anything the government wants them to do.
The strongest, freest nation in the history of mankind will be averaged into world communism.